Things are not working quite as well as is tradition. How are we doing? How's the week been? Got the new car. Picked it up. Good morning, Anako. You're here early. Not that that's a bad thing, of course. Good morning, Shadow. How are you? How's uh Shadow Mum? Mum Shadow? We've never quite figured out how to. I've never figured out how to put that one. How's she going? Either way. Well, I hope. It's also been a very lovely day. Like nice temperature. Oh, excuse me. A nice temperature, which is honestly underrated. A lot of pain. What do you? What's nothing too serious? I hope. What's the reason? Do you reckon? So my day was pretty banal. Went to work, left work a bit early to pick up the car. In doing so, discovered there was an enormous traffic jam. So I got to pick up the car a bit late. Was still able to pick up the car though, so that's the important part. Uh, yeah, I can see that that would tire you out. Hmm. That's the worst when you're like, you've reached your destination. You're like, hold on, ah, I've forgotten it. What was I gonna say? I don't know. I'm gonna launch the game before I forget to do that. 8 miles. Well done. That's commitment. I'm looking forward to the weekend. Um, there's a camera sale at a local. Well, it's not necessarily local, but at a nearby charity shop. I'm gonna try and have a look at that tomorrow morning, and then honestly, the plan will be to come home after that and just sleep in. Go back to bed. I can't sleep in if I've already woken up, so going back to bed. Yeah, parking prices at a hospital are robbery. In my experience, it was not a cheap thing to go and see Vod-mander Jao with any sort of regularity after work because it was just so much money. I think it was like $20 a day on parking alone. Not cheap. I mean, the bus would have been better if you just remembered your wallet. But then again, even if you went to drive, I guess you would have still been buggered if you didn't have your wallet as well, because you wouldn't be able to pay the parking tickets. It was quite wet today too. It's because the angels were crying because the Jao-Mobile was being retired. Rest in peace to the Jao-Mobile. I didn't I didn't like shed a tear necessarily, but it was a little bit emotional when I had to give up the Jao-Mobile. Because it's been with me for 5 years at this point. I should be plugging into it in the controller. This isn't the early 2000s. I don't have to play a racing game on the mouse and keyboard if I don't want to. Oh, excuse me. Oh, now the Stream Deck app's working. How nice. We need making me look bad in front of everyone else. Alright, now we're back in business. No, it's the summit. Let's go to the summit. Now, where do you sit on the bus? Chat, where is your go-to spot on the bus? Personally, I don't know if it's the same for where you are. Often, for us, at least in Sydney on the bus, you get on and then there's like maybe 1 or 2 rows facing forward, and then there's 2 kind of facing inwards. I sit there. You don't take the bus? I mean, I definitely try and avoid taking the bus, I'll be honest. Trains for life if we're doing public transport. Ah, yes. Well, I don't know if it's the emergency exit so much as it is like the pram / older lady with a trolley seat. They said this is the right car for this. But we did get fired, so I'm glad we're getting more use out of it. Go with that jump for a second. That would really put a spanner in it. Sick. £2 is pretty good. It's like part of the reason that well, I mean, part of the big reason I don't catch the train to work is because I just have trouble getting out of bed in the morning, if we're being super honest with each other. But the other part is it would cost $5 each way for me to catch the train to work, which is a little bit rich for my money, to be honest. Particularly when you go into like the train systems of... I remember the train system of Singapore being pretty cheap, all things considered. But also like going to Moscow and St. Petersburg, it's like a single Australian dollar to catch the train, or it was before the Second Ukraine War. I don't know what it is now. I mean, the long seat at the back was always the cool spot. Because it meant, I don't know, you were cool. No one could sneak up behind you as well. So you were very safe as a mobster. I only just registered that you said Americat inadequate. My apologies for not recognizing your comedic chops. That. I don't know why the tail seems to be spinning out so much. The LA River is such an iconic location for like video games. Racing video games in particular. Oh my goodness. What was that? Yeah, but you're quite away from the city, aren't you? The only small benefit is that if you take 8 trips on our tap-on train card thing, if you take 8 trips with that, you get the rest of the trips, however many you take, as half price. Let's try this bad boy.
Three, two.
That's a fair point. I hadn't even thought about that.
1.
We were lucky we didn't get Robert Patrick.
Listen to the engine. It's saying, let's win.
Hero, shut the hell up. There are few people I care for less in this video game than Hero's input. Speaking of the kind of Terminator films indirectly, such as it is, have you guys seen the more recent Terminator films?
This
I hear
isn't
they
as
were a
bad
little
as
bit
it looks.
pants.
Well, it might be.
This America, that sounds vaguely familiar. The name, but I cannot place it. Ah!
All I've got to say
Oh,
to
he is
you
a
is
wrestler.
keep working your magic.
It's like, Hero, please, I do not care what the engine is saying. Apart from the fact I doubt it's actually speaking to me. Maybe you should take your meds. There's nothing wrong with having to take medication. We all have to do it in some way. But take the damn things. Ow, ow, ow. Ow, ow. I feel like there's something kind of similar to this in Forza, if not very similar. But also, there are so many more vehicles in this game than there are in Forza Horizon. Just because, you know, you've got planes, boats, hovercrafts, just the whole gamut. You've also got monster trucks, forgot about those. Dirt bikes and street bikes, for that matter. Nailed it. Hello? Street race, no restriction. I'm always mildly tempted to use the limousine, but I'm also conscious of the fact that it would be a terrible idea.
Three, two, one.
Faster, faster. Seriously, go faster.
I accidentally discovered my new car has a sports mode for the gearbox, which is exciting if I ever need to really race with some pink slips. That's good to know. But seeing as I have to use 95 unleaded, I think I'll stick to a regular mode. Well, it wasn't a button. Basically, you can put it into drive, obviously. You slide the gear stick back until it's in drive. And then if you pull it back again, it switches between drive and S, which I'm assuming is like sport or something like that. Because it feels like the gearbox holds on to the gears for a little bit longer. Actually, the only sports button there really is you can turn off the stop-start. And that's about it. You can turn off the traction control if you so wish. But that's not really a button, it's a menu item in the touchscreen. Sure is. I'm also having a lot of fun playing with the digital dashboard. There's not an enormous amount of customization to it, but it is enjoyable. Well, it is interesting, I guess is a better term. Just like there are 6 or 7 like default or stock things, stock screens, designs to have, and some of them are just kind of, I don't know if I would have thought that was needed. Like, interestingly, there's some sort of like nighttime one, because there's no dial or even thing on the screen that indicates, what does it indicate? I think your water temperature or your engine temperature perhaps, and your fuel. There's like a series on both sides of the screen of 8 almost like LED bars, and they go up and down like depending if it's hot or cold or full or empty. And there's a mode on the digital dashboard that gets rid of everything but the gear, the speed, and that's it. And it like turns off the lights on the side. So I'm assuming it's for like night driving or something. I'm not sure. I think I do, but I don't know. There was definitely like red strip light in the console when I got out of the car this evening when I had parked it. But because it's a blue car, I'd much prefer it to be blue, TBH. That said, I do appreciate the commitment from Skoda to saving my night vision. So I'm not going to complain too much about that. Because I'm sure, as we all know, red light is the best for preserving your night vision. I mean, you can, you don't even have to like send off necessarily. You can get like little AliExpress things, right? Little JPEG projectors that you can put in your door. I've seen, because I had a brief look, I just searched up Skoda Kamik on AliExpress, just be like, I wonder what you can, what they offer. Because if the original Jao-Mobile the first, was still going to be around, you can get from AliExpress a kind of replacement, not even a replacement, because it doesn't have one, not a center console, center armrest thing. kind of fits into some of the other little cubby holes to kind of hold it in place, I think. The only thing is now I've got to go to the government office and change the title of the vehicle to myself. I need to have a look if I can do that online. That'll be ideal.
2, 1.
It seems to be relatively efficient. I mean, particularly with the stop-start in like traffic, it's pretty good. Or even when you're like sitting at the lights. I imagine it will probably like, because the stop-start stuff is basically you just got a beefed up starter motor, right? And I can see that I've heard that can sometimes be a detriment constantly using it, but for the time being, I think I'll enjoy it. I guess. I don't know. I don't think it's a car meet kind of car, to be honest. It's a nicer car than like a Corolla, certainly. Well, maybe not. I feel like a lot of cars are going pretty upscale these days. But, I don't know, it's nothing like, you know, this Mustang on screen or whatever. I think in the Barracks car meet isn't exactly, you know, the most prestigious ticket in town. It's a Skoda Kamiq, a C63 AMG, and a slightly beat up 2014 Nissan Altima. So I don't think we're going to be pulling enormous crowds at the car meet, to be honest. I mean, just because I don't know if you've obviously got the Nissan Altima, and that'll really pull the crowds. But I don't know about the rest of us. I mean, that is the main thing. I've actually never been to any car thing. There's a McDonald's nearby that's 24 hours, and I'm pretty sure there's not irregularly some sort of car situation going on. After hours, of course, like, you know. I feel like I remember after church, like 9 or so on a Sunday night, there being some pretty nice kind of Japanese cars in the car park. Not great, but like, you know, a very clean Civic or a Supra or something, that kind of stuff. Beans. I'm just not made for drifting for some reason. I don't know why. Tip to chain a drift to obtain a better score. I'm trying, game. I think it depends on the JDM. I know that you exchanged kind of thoughts about this, but I quite like the Nissan GTR, to be honest. Like the new one, where they drop the Skyline badge. Primarily because it's the closest thing to a supercar that you can actually kind of get your groceries in. They can go and get your groceries, and then you can go and like put it down a pretty sweet time at the Nürburgring, possibly even with the milk in the back. I mean, yeah, the 90s NSX, for me, ideally the one without the pop-up headlight. Yeah, that's the one. Sorry. I keep forgetting. 'Cause
Alert.
they're
Ads are
basically the
starting.
same. I feel like. At least from the outside. It's just those headlights that change. Alright, and that's that. Oh, we might get a Ferrari drift car. Hooray. Kinda hoping for something a bit different. What's the other one? A Delcia? I could get behind having a Delcia. The Mitsubishi off-road people mover cars. I could get behind having one of those. Let's take out the cop car. I don't know. I know this is Foxopedia I'm talking to, but I think it's Mitsubishi. Actually, I will have a look at this again. The rims are really not that great. I think it's because they're very large. They're very thick. I think they're pretty cool cars. And if you were like keen on doing the van life thing, you could do worse than having one of those. Okay, we definitely don't want that. What's it? Oh, that's just got a different kind of surround to it. I mean, honestly, the OG is pretty bitchin'. I mean, the real question is, can you get a Mercedes Sprinter with four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive? Because then we're really looking at a Delcia competitor. But if I was going, like, what is it, overlanding? I'd much prefer to take a van. Some sort of off-road capable van, like a Delcia or something else.
Ready when you are.
And I would, like a pickup truck with a camp bed on top. The Vod.
Go for the fastest arrest. Roll camera.
None of these are arrests, correct? I'm just killing people.
You got him. Just finish him off. You got him. I'm proud of you, driver.
No. cancelled live on stream. Didn't even have time to script my apology video. Gonna have to be off the cuff.
Down they go. Vault Corp thanks you. That shook him up. Ram him again. Good one. Nice hit. Keep it up.
Does it help if I'm one of the good ones that only kills cars?
Contact. Break him down.
Oh. Oh. Well, I'm playing as a cop, Shadow. Therefore, it is likely that my father did not know my mother.
Damage.
I definitely know it myself.
Got him. Just finish him off.
Ow. I think it definitely started in the States. Really? All cops are bastards?
Great work. Well done, Agent.
I don't know if it was started in the George Floyd protests, or I think it was the George Floyd one. But it definitely like
Direct hit.
came
Just
to
do
my
more damage.
cognition during that.
Good one. Nice hit. Keep it up. Excellent move. True operator.
True. Luckily this isn't actual New York City traffic. Apparently it's improved a lot with the new congestion charge. Ah, I
That
missed.
shook him up. Ram him again.
Take that, public transit. And that really is an American thing to do. I forgot they called them the
Again.
filth.
Congratulations.
I feel like everyone calls them the pigs.
Our window is closing.
Then again, you've also got the fuzz over there. The roses. I don't know if we've got an Australian word for the cops. I think they're just the cops. Which I guess is a little bit dull. When you think about it. We could and maybe should do better. Ow. I mean, that's what you get for parking over a bike lane like you are. I can make this all legal by putting on my siren. Oh, why are all the cars parked in the opposite direction of travel? That seems weird. Classic. I feel like calling the cops pigs is like as old as time itself almost. Six stunned by that guy there. Hello, it's the fuzz. Yeah, sure, we'll stick with this. That's fine. No, your regular ones don't. Our ones do. And obviously the Yankees do, but No, your one's done, and I'm kind of envious of that, to be honest.
Welcome to Lower Manhattan, folks. The beating heart of the most recognizable city on Earth. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. This area is usually jam-packed with traffic and pedestrians, but today, the streets are clear for an all-out speed contest past one of the most vertical cities in the world. Hope you're ready, because it's race time!
Is it one of the most vertical cities in the world? I'm trying to think. I mean, I guess it is pretty vertical. It's the OG skyscraper city, or with the Chrysler Building and the Empire State. None of which are actually in the skyline here, I don't think. But I think they didn't get the rights to the building, as strange as it sounds. Definitely more vertical cities these days. Like Dubai, with the Burj Khalifa. I mean, I know that's doing a lot of heavy lifting, being like a mile tall or whatever. Gotta count for something.
Drivers should be getting a nice view of the Williamsburg Bridge in the distance, crossing from the Lower East Side over into Brooklyn. It was once the longest suspension bridge in the world.
It's probably not a European city, because a lot of the European cities are quite, you know, medium density. Like 6 stories for the most part. But there are more skyscrapers, particularly in like places like London and say Paris. I don't know what the tallest city would be. It doesn't. I mean, I guess it is New York, but it is also right to say something. What is everyone's plans for the weekend out of curiosity? You've heard mine. Or the big plan at least. What about y'all? What are you looking forward to or planning on doing? More car work for you, Shadow? I imagine visiting Mum as well. D&D for you, inadequate? Afternoon. What are we crafting?
You'll recognize the giant billboards coming up as Times Square. I've been here myself for multiple New Year's Eve celebrations, and there is truly nowhere else like it.
I'm going to be honest, New Year's in Times Square sounds like it sucks. You're stuck there for like hours because you have to turn up at like 4 AM to get a spot. And all you see is a ball drop. Fridge magnets made of clay. Interesting.
What an amazing start to the U.S. Speed Tour, huh? Incredible racing today. And hang
I haven't
around,
even thought
because
of
there's a
making fridge
whole lot
magnets,
more
let
of it
alone
still
ones
to
of
come.
clay. Maybe that would be the first thing of Jao merge. Fridge magnets. Now. Sounds pretty cool though. I haven't really done any craft like that in like forever. Probably since school. Have I? Maybe Sunday school, after school? No, that was still during school. Have I done anything at all kind of like knick-knacky that I can take home? Almost like to show your parents, it feels like. One of these days we're going to figure out what the hell all that scrap is used for, but today is not that day. I actually think most of my craft these days is like stream adjacent, to be honest. Did I disappear for a second? I didn't notice that I dropped out, sorry. Oh, sorry, you're back. Whew. I mean, that's a relief on both parts. That you're back, firstly, and that I didn't leave. I'm assuming that one has more coffee. I'm thinking that maybe when we figure out that we've had a lot of when we figure out we've had enough of the crew, then maybe we have a look at like an old Need for Speed or something like that. Or even like Gran Turismo. Break out that emulation that I've been trying to do. I'm more interested in Midnight Club LA, to be honest. I should have a look at Dub Edition. That's PlayStation 2 era, isn't it? I was looking away. That guy got destroyed. That was kind of like the Underground 2, wasn't it? Kind of open world. Obviously, kind of pimping your cars. But still having the 3 worlds that Midnight Club 2 had. Maybe I should have looked at that then. Because I know for certain games, particularly I say only through emulation, but you can get like HD texture pack replacements for like maybe Midnight Club Dub Edition. Ah, that was their kind of point of difference, I guess, having motorcycles and stuff. Because they also had SUVs too, if I remember correctly. Alright, let's have a different engine noise. What was your SUV from Midnight Club?
3.
My brother's was the Hummer, because he was always a Hummer man back in the day. I don't know if he is anymore. I doubt it. Lincoln Navigate. Navigator. I had a taste for the finer things in life, so if I ever went for one, it would have been the Escalade, I think. But honestly, there was really no reason to get one, in my opinion. I'm not entirely certain why they were added in. Yeah, I guess so. I guess a Cadillac is probably the most wrapped vehicle out of the 3 we've just discussed: a Hummer, a Lincoln, and a Cadillac Escalade, but then again, I'm not sure. Ooh! You had my attention, and now you have my interest. Or is it the other way around? In any event, that may have sealed the deal. The MC412. Cadillac MC412, which supposedly was killed by Mercedes. ME, I was close. I knew it was Chrysler, I just couldn't remember what the letters were. Well, the second letter specifically, I guess. Interesting that it's got a lot of concept cars. I was going to ask about that. Well, that is very exciting. The real question is, did they still have good customization for those cars? Because I know often they'll get some really nice cars in, but the licensing means they can't really do much with them. Nah, I figured as much. That's alright. Like the MC20 that we've got in this game, the Maserati that we bought recently. Very nice car, obviously, but you can't customize it at all. You can't even paint it. So you can't even change the rims, if I remember correctly. You can only paint the rims. I personally think the Cadillac sedans look pretty cool, as a rule of thumb. Well, let's go have a look at a rallycross in the Circle Pit. That's a pretty cool picture. Let's go to the pit. I mean, that was back in the day where, like, customization was the selling point. Ow. You know, like games like Need for Speed Carbon, for example, where, like, the principal selling point was the fact that, hey, this game? Oh, this one? You've got sliders now for the bumpers. So you can make that headlight as big as you want. I guess it doesn't help, but then again, you've also got like benefits. You know, you drive on the correct side of the road, that kind of stuff. And access to Mercedes more easily. I think I guess it depends on what Mercedes. I don't know if they follow the same principle of BMW of making some of their stuff in America. Stop flashing. Well, that's a fair point. Cats don't like rain. inadequate. Might not be a great, great cultural exchange for you. Ooh, it moves. Bloody da. Look at me. Our bucket will move. You weren't even slightly impressed by that? Huh? Okay, I guess we use a specific car. Didn't expect that.
3, 2, 1.
There's my car just in front of me though, so I don't know why I had to get to this guy. Crystal. Crystal does not sound like a rallycross racer. I don't know what a rallycross racer name is, but not Crystal. Maybe like Angie or something. There's no way in hell that thing turns that quickly in real life. Is that like turret, for lack of a better term, weighs probably literally 200 tons. If not more. Like probably the bucket weighs 200 tons actually. Yeah, they are actually enormous. I mean, they're probably literally the biggest things on land. Biggest movable thing on land. The Bagger 288. Is that what we are observing here? I wouldn't have been able to tell you that, but Bagger 288 does ring a bell now that you've said it out loud. Definitely the 288 part. Can you imagine being like the engineer or designer or whatever proposing this in the beginning? That size of vehicle? We'll use one to construct the barracks. That's because it's the size of a twisted metal map, basically. So you wouldn't want to have to go anywhere quickly. Don't they only travel at like 2, maybe 5 at the most kilometers an hour? Which is impressive given the size, obviously, but not exactly, you're not going to chase down anyone very quickly in that. Well, that was a somewhat anticlimactic race, I'll be honest. Ah, the stretch. The stretch. Auto switch vehicle returning to free drive. definitely a different engine note. Oh, that's right. It's only a 230 max on these cars. So weird. Why do they all have different maximums? An abandoned bucket wheel. I mean, I can see why. That, like, what would you do with it? You know? I guess you could like. There's a fair amount of scrap metal in that. But I don't know what else you'd do with it. You couldn't exactly like take it to a new location, right? We should head up to upstate New York. You could, if you were cunning, you could maybe turn the bucket wheel into like a Ferris wheel as well. That could be kind of cool. Ciao. I mean, I think there's just going to be deaths in there. Again, I'm assuming you put sneakers on and you're not using like fursuit foot paws. But even just wearing your fursuit head is going to be pretty dicey, I would think. I feel like parkour famously needs pretty full vision. I remember when I grew up, like certainly in like middle school, high school age, there was very little cooler than parkour. And to an extent, there still really isn't. Like wall running and stuff like that, still very cool. It's not something I don't think I'll be getting into. Is it also free running? Just kind of similar, I feel like. Probably just got a little bit of less of a French accent. Oh, dear. Oh, the week is definitely catching up with me now, chat. Also, knock on wood, I have not had any of those dropouts recently. I think when we tried to fix it, we really did. I'm pretty chuffed about it. I also haven't been able to find out if we finished Bear and Breakfast, to be honest. I put a question in the Steam forums. I haven't got an answer. Admittedly, it's a bit of a weird question, other than that. Probably check the achievements, because I did get an achievement. But I'm also not entirely certain if I want to go back to it tomorrow night. Don't know. we could just have a look at like Midnight Club 3, and then maybe try and play that tomorrow night, and then switch it over for switch the crew out for that. Or we start one of the Sniper Elite games. I think is maybe what I want to have a look at next. Ow. Get over there. Probably running off to run his motels and stuff. Ow. America. The most American of races. Demolition Derby, I guess. Where would you take us urban exploring? I don't think I've ever been urban exploring. Not really.
3, 2, 1.
The Didcot nuclear power plant. Okay, that's definitely not what I expected here. Ah! Didn't get punched. Going back there, didn't I? Ooh, so close. Oh yeah, I mean there's plenty of asylums just like full stop in the Western world now that we've transitioned to a different kind of form of mental health care. Closest thing I've come to like doing urban exploring is going to like a couple of old farmhouses on a friend's property. When I used to go on a mission trip out west with the church. Like the guy had, or his family I should say, you know, dozens of acres. Not dozens, hundreds of acres out that way, including the original farmhouse, which was separate to the new farmhouse that he and his family lived in. That was kind of cool. But I guess it's not really urban, it's very country, very rural. I can't think of many in Sydney. Oh, get wrecked, idiot. There definitely has to be something around Sydney. Idiot, idiot. Hey, just because I'm finished doesn't mean I'm finished with you, buddy. I want to make you mega last.
Now, you ain't stupid, so I'm guessing you've noticed there's more than...
I've never noticed a thing, Emmett. You see, Emmett, I'm blind. I have never and will never notice anything. It's a sad tale, really.
one way to make a name for yourself with the family. However, just because you can, don't mean that you have to. You'd rather just tool around the country taking pictures of Bigfoot? Be my guest. It's about
Hypercars,
freedom.
let's go.
The freedom to challenge what you think are your limits, and the freedom not to.
Freedom to hang up on Emmett? Is that a freedom we have? I'd like to exercise that freedom. I can't remember if I bought this car or I unlocked this car. Roselle's Tram Depot is in Sydney. Yeah, it definitely is. And I kind of know approximately where that would be. Like, I know where Roselle is, kind of. But, okay. There are some tunnels, like some disused train tunnels under the city that sometimes get opened up during, like, festivals or whatever. They're kind of cool. Obviously not really, urban exploring, I feel like, if you've had the tunnels opened up, but still. I don't think there's... I mean, it's partly because we're not a particularly old country in terms of the built environment. In terms of human habitation, quite old. Very old even. But in terms of, like, the built environment, incredibly young. So we just haven't had time to accrue all the asylums that England has, or the UK, the United States. Oh, excuse me. Like, I definitely like the idea of doing it. Primarily because I think I could take some pretty sick photos. I know that's a very Jao-core thing to say, but... Ow, it's true. Wait, there's 3 exhaust pipes. There's a hidden third one behind the mesh. I also don't have a GoPro. Shocking, I know. But I never really had a need for it. I guess because I don't go urban exploring. Or skiing, or skateboarding, or bungee jumping, or, you know, XYZ. I also don't have a drone. And I'm also not too bummed out about that. I don't think I would use it too much. I do have a thermal camera. Well, a full spectrum camera. But you can get lenses for it that make it thermal. completely forgot about nitrous. I was like, how can I look at the third secret exhaust pipe? I'll have to try and get it to backfire. Completely forgetting I've got a button that makes it light up. Ow. Ow. Hold on. Yeah. Spooky. What if we just went to a shopping center? Maybe Urban explored some Panda Express or something. Ow! Okay, that tree should not have stopped me. Every other one? Yes. That one? No. Even in real life, I would have annihilated that tree. I would be dead, but that tree would be too. Well, I mean, a regular shopping mall is still abandoned. Just because there are employees there doesn't mean the general public goes. Ooh, that was close. A lot of vans on the road, huh? How weird and kooky. Wanting to be comfortable and safe. Very relatable. Like, there's talk of a 30th camping trip for someone that I know through church. I'm like, I don't know, guys. Sounds awfully like not sleeping up in bed. Also, it's on a Friday and Saturday, which means I'd have to cancel stream. And I could just go for lunch. What's up?
Three, 2, 1.
Hey KB, how you doing? How do you think go today? I'm sorry I couldn't come, but, you know, work, am I right? Well, we're traveling incredibly quickly. That would have been interesting. Like, old TVs, CRTs are very interesting to me. Because I feel like they're somehow more technologically complex than an LCD panel is. Just because it's like, but you shot lasers at a thing and that's how you displayed the image? How? Actually, the closest thing to urban exploring I've gotten was my brother and I wanting to go to a place kind of very north of where Shadow is, called Svalbard? S-V-A-L-B-E-R-D? I think it's part of, I want to say Denmark, but it might be Norway. But even though it's part of one of those places, it's actually a Russian coal mining settlement. And this particular portion of it has been abandoned for years. But there's still like a hotel and stuff. No, well, cockatoos, in my experience at least, cockatoos aren't particularly territorial. The ones you got to look out for are magpies. Approximately in spring, so September, I think maybe October. You know, when they've got eggs and whatever. That's what's called swooping season. Because they get very protective of their young, I think. I think that's why they do it. But in any event, if you're riding a bike or something underneath, you get swooped. I've been swooped by one of them once. Like they try and, you know, dive for me, basically. Really? The closest to harassment I've gotten from a cockatoo is like them walking up and trying to get some food. I don't think I've ever had them attack me, which is good, because they've got some pretty... Like, if you look at a cockatoo, they've got some pretty powerful biting apparatus. Beak. On the old face. So you do not want to... Good feeding pistachios. Also, in particular, macadamia nuts. At my parents' place, we had a pretty enormous macadamia tree. And then every day... Well, every spring... you'd hear the cockatoos getting at it, and basically they just pierce the shell, and the shell's like, I don't know, probably half a centimeter thick. It's this hefty shell, and they'd pierce it and then get the actual edible nut inside, and then just throw the rest of it on the ground. Did they go wubby dabby da? I don't think so. I'm also not entirely certain what we're referencing here. Ghost hunt. Bust them all. Nice. Really dodging that copyright there, game.
3, 2, 1.
I feel like I should be wearing a helmet. Kind of a screeching noise. They're not especially radio friendly, I don't think. Magpies have a very lovely warble to them. Cockatoos just kind of screech. Kookaburras laugh. Those are really the only... Oh, there's also a whip bird, which I think is not necessarily unique to Australia, but also isn't in any of Northern Hemisphere, I don't think. I think it's maybe also in Indonesia / Papua New Guinea. Once I finish this, I'll play some cockatoo noises. Maybe even a whipbird. And the whipbird's quite interesting because it sounds like a whip. Well, it doesn't sound like a whip, but the noise it makes acts like a whip. Like it's got a long kind of front end and then a really quick, sharp tail. Like a whip crack. I think it's also a call and response, but I'm not entirely certain. I've heard that before. That the long front is actually like one of them calling, and then the crack is the mate calling in response. We're gonna have a few wholesome birds, or just creatures in general. They can't all be poisonous or venomous. These are some pretty great view lines for the game. I guess you're just not making the right ones. The whipbird would probably get weird looks from the cockatoos and vice versa. See, the music's getting dramatic, huh? Probably fine. No! I meant to bust these guys by, I'm assuming, coming first. I'm not coming first, I can't bust the ghost. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh, I forgot to 50 it. The engine probably didn't like that so much. We do have putt-putt, yep. Yawning. Well, I'm glad you like yawning, because this is the channel for yawning. Yeah, I got putt-putt. I mean, that is my preferred way to play golf, to be honest. I haven't really spent much time at a driving range, though, so I don't know if I prefer that or not. I know, I was conscious of the fact that there was some in the chat who were golf aficionados. Excuse me. It's all go. I'm not feeling super crash hot, guys. Got a kind of pain in my gut. May have been the butter chicken I had for dinner. But I can't think of anything else. Oh, that sucks. That's pretty good. Hole in one. I mean, hole in one full stop is just talented. In real golf or mini golf. We don't accept first place. We follow the Ricky Bobby rules, or if you're not first, you're last. At least until I can't be bothered to beat it. But I think I can. Maybe just be bothered to beat it, that is. Still, a hole in one is a hole in one. Even if the hole's right in front of you, they're not that easy to get.
Alert, ads are starting.
I haven't played mini golf in years, though, I don't think. Oh my goodness. Wow. KB. You shouldn't have, thank you. 5 gift subs. Look at you. Well, that's new. I don't think we've ever had one of those before. Thank you so much, KB. I appreciate it immensely. Didn't have to do that. I appreciate your distaste for ads. Yas? Are we talking like a yas? Or a yas? Oh, hell yeah. Yas Queen. Yas. Was that up to snuff? I did taper a little bit at the end there. I really don't feel like I do though, because when it comes to like running or when I used to play an instrument or whatever, didn't quite seem to have the lung capacity of some of my compatriots. Like I feel like I can get puffed really easily. Yeah, I wish I don't know. I don't know how you... I guess swimming or something would be the like #1 way to really improve your lung capacity. Or playing an instrument, like a trumpet or a, you know, a flute in particular. Yeah, like, I've definitely... I don't think I was ever that great at holding, like, lung capacity. Yeah, that probably doesn't help. I guess I was in a marching band, the bagpipe band, but I mean even then I didn't exactly have a great lung capacity. It didn't feel like it at least. Maybe it was more just that I wasn't able to like exhale with enough force. I don't know. Your spine, shrimp shape. Your diaphragm, weak. Your breath, out of it. Yeah, you don't want scoliosis, or bonitis for that matter. For those Futurama heads out there. Gamerosis, oof. It's an affliction. The irony being, the higher the level we got, the harder it was to avoid gamerosis. Your parents ever tell you that your eyes would go square if you watch too much TV? Surely that was a thing for the people in chat. Yeah, I figured, I was almost certain it would be for you, Shadow. Not square? Interesting. Is that because you didn't have a CRT? I mean, maybe it's because the TVs were square for me. That probably helped. No, I wanted timeline. a classic. Don't hold that face, or if the wind changes, you won't be able to get rid of it. So what did you get anything like that at all then, KB? Any kind of stop watching the TV, or your eyes will turn whatever? I'm just wondering if maybe it was a Commonwealth thing. Oh, interesting. Now mine was definitely, I'm pretty sure it was definitely like, if you watch too much TV. I don't know if, my parents never told me that one, definitely. That was definitely more of a kid thing. I think I didn't like crust for a little bit, but I do quite enjoy the crust. Trying to figure out where I want to go next. Shadow, you've got curly hair already. What are you gonna do? Like, interesting. So you had the opposite propaganda. Is that because you were one of the only people that didn't have, like, straight hair? Yeah, I was definitely jealous of my brother's hair. Because he had, my hair's not, like, curly. It definitely couldn't grow into, like, an afro or something like that. But after a certain length, like, after not cutting my hair for long enough, I'll definitely get, like little, not little curls, but like larger style curls. But my brother's hair was always straight, which meant that he didn't really have to, brush it in the same way that I kind of had to make it somewhat reasonable. Of course, the joke is on him now because he's losing his hair. At least at a slightly faster rate than I am. That does help. It does help. Now here is a question that is very furry coded, but also one that I'm not entirely certain what the answer is to. And there is, I'm almost certain there is an answer. You know the stuff on a horse? Not like the mane or the tail, but like the actual flank of the horse. What is that stuff called? Is it fur or is it hair? Fur, you reckon? I don't know. It's very short. Interesting, so it's fur. But it's incredibly thin fur. Sorry, other car. There you go. I mean, I suppose I kind of knew that, but I wouldn't have been able to tell you that. That a horse's fur, I guess, or coat is probably I'm more comfortable saying coat for some reason than fur. Would thicken or thin, depending on the season. I might drive to this location, and then I might actually end stream a bit early, because I'm not feeling super crash hot in the old intestines. I'm not entirely certain why. I don't think it's bonitis or anything like that, but it's not a particularly pleasant experience. This is a properly quick car. Cruising on pretty casually like 450. I never actually know what to do with my hair, to be honest. My current haircut is basically just a schoolboy's haircut, but a bit longer. Which I guess could probably be described as like generic white guy. Cornrows is definitely a acquired taste. One of the current ministers at our church, when he turned up, had dreadlocks. This is a white fellow, but they were incredible dreadlocks. I'm talking like easily 2 feet to a meter in length. Like these were dedicated dreadlocks. He has since cut them off, and I can't remember why he did it. What made the cornrows painful? Oh, I guess it's because you've got to like really get into the scalp to kind of stitch them together, right? Do I? No. I've grown up in a household of cats. Well, one cat at a time, but several cats over the years. But no, I don't have a pet of my own. I feel like this is a not uncommon discussion on the stream, but it's principally because I don't feel like, given my 1-bedroom living arrangements and the fact that I'd basically be leaving it at home the whole time, I don't know if I can justify it. Oh look, I would love to have a cat. Particularly coming into like the winter months. Having a cat to snuggle up with would be pretty chill. Yeah, but he's so far away. Also, inadequate kind of would like it. And one thing that I really like about cats over dogs is their just kind of reluctant acceptance of most things. I like cats because they're a bit more standoffish. They're not gonna run up and like lick your face or whatever like a dog does. And I've never liked dogs about that. They're just a bit too eager, basically. Even as like a young Jao, like 5 or 6 years old, didn't like dogs that much just because they were a bit too forward. Whereas a cat wouldn't really kind of jump up and lick your face. Well, that too. And look, I don't want Jao is many things, but a house racket ain't one of them. Look, I like the idea of dogs. Like corgis in particular.
Welcome to St. Louis.
I quite like.
Engines running. No sign of any law enforcement. Now listen close. There's 8 of you on that start line. I want you to fight for the finish like your lives legit depend on it. Just ask me where we're heading. We'll find out when you
Gimli? Are we talking about the dwarf from Lord of the Rings? Maybe?
Now go.
Oh, you're Hampton. Oh, I missed that it was called Gimli. He looks polite. I've never actually had a Hampton. I was desperate at one point to have a rabbit, but we never had one, for better or worse. Benui. They're quite delicate creatures though, Benuis.
Now, ain't that pretty? The people in those balloons must have a hell of a view of our race from up there. Enjoy the sights while you
Like,
can.
you know, they can overheat very easily or all that kind of stuff, or I think they can get overexcited and like basically have a heart attack. They're kind of delicate in that way. But I was definitely a bunny fan back in the day. I didn't have teddy bears, I had like teddy bunnies, I guess you'd call them. And I had sheep. Yeah, that's the other thing. I feel like as a young lad or lass, you're not really ready to have a thing that relies solely on you. A family pet's probably better. That said, I have also heard anecdotally that apparently it's not a terrible idea for kids to have one of those delicate animals like a guinea pig or a hamster or a rabbit or whatever, just to kind of get that first death out of the way on something that's not super mission critical, rather than having a learning experience with grandma or whatever. I don't know about that myself, but we had fish and cats. The cats, as far as I know, the cat never really took much interest in the fish. We also had a pretty bad run for a while with the fish. They didn't exactly live for a huge amount of time.
Keep your eyes open. Something's blocking the road.
Catfish. Now that is interesting. I just had goldfish. Boring old goldfish. Cats are definitely easier, I think, than dogs. In many respects, because they don't need to be walked. They clean themselves. And if they're well toilet trained, or if they're toilet trained, they you know, do their business in a confined area, or outside and bury it. Pardon? So it got out of the fish tank, rolled under the fridge, and was then alive to be put back in the fish tank? Damn. You definitely can, but I think they're still a bit... From what I've heard, rabbits are a little bit difficult to house train. Because their natural tendency is just to kind of poop as they go, like a horse would. Not really kind of give a second thought to it. Well, that too. I think they do enjoy chewing on a... Well, I feel like almost all creatures enjoy chewing on a cable. Dogs and cats. Animals just like to chew. Ah, cunning, KB, cunning. Hadn't thought about it that way. Yeah, I suspect that butter chicken maybe wasn't gluten-free, perhaps. Hello, Aho. How are you doing? How's the week been?
I'm not sure any of you actually broke a sweat on that one. Well, we've got to give.
I think I'll stick around for a little bit longer. It's not, I feel like it's getting a little bit better.
From where I'm sitting, this is about to get fun.
Special hotlines do not approach.
A little bit. I think if I was going to get an animal, it would be a cat. Winds of change. Woo, spooky. A gato? A gatito? I guess so. I am unfamiliar with this language of which you speak. Let's try the Volkswagen just for the lols. Probably a terrible decision.
With all those pretty balloons on the last leg. The winds of change are in the air. Keep your hands in your
Spanish? Espanol?
And as always, follow the sun.
Wow, why did he decide to brake check everyone, my man? Not much. Feeling a little bit unwell because I think I ate some wheat, and the gluten intolerance is not designed for that, literally. But picked up my new car today, so that was a plus. Ah! Picking a new car. I don't know, because the other thing is, even if you're sure you won't die in the crash, there's also the chance that you will kill someone in a crash.
Something's blocking the road up there.
And conscience aside, the law doesn't look too kindly upon that.
What an idiot! That truck driver doesn't understand the first thing about windshield.
I'm in 6th place, no, 7th place. I thought I was doing a bit better than that. What about you, KB? What would you do? Well, that too. I think I'd be more confident about the idea of like doing a, not like a street race, but like doing an actual track day or something. You know, I'd be more comfortable sending it in like controlled conditions. You eat meal? An intriguing proposition.
The desert's angry. Or maybe just impatient for a good race. Gonna mean a lot of debris and stuff out there. Don't crash your sexy little cars.
Okay. I feel like this guy's weird. Okay. Evolution from Battlefield.
There we go. Nature 1. Shifting 0.
Oh, let's actually make use. Ah! I mean, the closest thing to a track day we've had is the community nights, which I should probably think about trying to do again.
Well, I'm not diverting the race path this time. I want all of you.
Well, from what I'm getting from this, if you want to send weird messages and you haven't said don't crash your sexy little cars, you gotta up your game from here to here. Also, I just need to do something with the old tracking so I'm not like, ooh, looking up all the time. That's a bit better. Alright, bye, says Shadow. Don't crash your sexy little cars. The one blessing about this, though, is it is not AI voice acting. If it was, that would be even more trash somehow. Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo. We might as well keep on trucking with this cross-country sexy little car guy. But maybe not with this car in particular. I could try out the limousine. Take Stacy to the prom as well as win the race.
That dust storm might be strong enough to sand the paint off a car, but it's gonna make one hell of a backdrop for our next
T50.
race.
I mean, that's very expensive though. Well, that's where we're taking Stacy to. After the prom, obviously. Unless Stacy's one that's chaperoning Stacy.
Those guys pushing against your cars. Those are the guys that's challenging you to be worth it. Come on, push yourselves. Show me you got what it takes.
Oh, wowzers. That was a bit larger jump than I expected. Like, I don't dislike that they do try and do these, like, weather things, where the wind actually kind of blows your car around a little bit. But, yeah, the VO could maybe be a little less weird. What about Stacy's mom? Ah! Is Stacy's mum Carrie? Because I'm trying to beat her. Not in that sense, chat, just in the kind of coming first sense. I don't think this is the case, but in reality, you wouldn't want the station, the limousine. And I know that's a big statement, but principally because I think it would catch more just wind of it. Really makes me glow, does it? It is one of my favorite features about the stream. I think to see about making it full stream at some point. But as you old-timers of the stream will know, things move slow in twitch.tv/manager. Unfortunately, the old motivation lines are plumb dry often. Look, I feel like I say those who have been around for a while, but you don't really have to be been here for a long time to figure out that, this guy talks a lot about changing things, but doesn't actually do it. Maybe later, Carrie. And I forgot. The trouble is I don't forgo. I simply don't do it. Whilst being conscious of the fact that I should be doing it. so I just feel bad. And to answer your question, yes, I am trying to get an ADHD assessment early in March.
I'm guessing that you can see the crazy ruins everywhere.
Oh, on a somewhat related note, 1st of March, the 2nd anniversary of Affiliate. Get excited. Get excited for what? No idea. As you've also probably noticed, not super good at planning events. Oh, so this was not the right car. Crazy as it may be. I don't know if the limo was the right choice. Let's try the 4GT. Thank you for the congratulations on the affiliate anniversary. No, I didn't want to revenge free drive. Well, now hold on a second. Well, now we never talked about that one.
Hope you had a good time with all those pretty balloons on the last leg. The winds of change are in the air. Keep your hands and your arms inside the
Wait, hold on. We've already done this one.
And as always, follow the sign.
This is just a disaster. People are enrolling me for streams I didn't plan. I'm having trouble picking a race. Santa Fe, that's where we were. I should have twigged the fact that that one had been completed.
That dust storm might be strong enough to sand the paint off a car, but it's gonna make one hell of a backdrop for our next leg. We might be tricky about the science
I don't actually know what this is meant to be. Is this like some sort of underground street race or something, or what?
Those guns are pushing against your cars. Those are the gods of the best challenge really worth it. Come on, push yourselves. Show you got what it takes.
See you, Amy. Neil. Ramon. Gary. Oop. Cut that a bit too close. That is something I really don't know if I do or not. Just because I quite enjoy the anonymity afforded to being a beekeeper. Had to. Then again, I would probably only just have a face cam. I don't think I'd have a full body cam. Look, I definitely haven't had a fan kind of... I haven't been straddling a fan on stream, but there have been times where I've been sweating here between the two PCs, giving off all this heat in this small room, and then just the summer Australian heat as well. Can be rough. It does get hot. No, I know. I'm just talking through my reasoning inadequate. It sure does. I mean, it gets pretty warm up the States as well. Particularly in Phoenix, I think? I think that's the place where it's just like, why did you build a city there, guys? But it's been relatively chill this year.
Zero visibility. Gale force crossed. I'm guessing that you can see the crazy ruins that there is. Well, don't cry about it, driver. You're not here to sightsee.
Okay, so it wasn't just the limousine, it was also maybe the wind. I feel like a dry heat wouldn't be... I mean, obviously, the preference of having no heat would be the best, but... There's been a lot of tropical heat around in Sydney recently. And that has been really the pits. You can't really even, like, sweat it out.
I want some but the weather turned, and then out of nowhere, this massive sand dune. 3 of the drivers, and never to be found the cause.
Thanks, The Voice. That is in fact your real name. Most of the small blessings for Utah is that I don't really think it's particularly vegetated. There's not much vegetation around
And you're through.
Utah, I don't think.
Those gods I mentioned might actually be pleased with you. Me, well, I'll withhold judgment till I see how the last 2 legs go. This
Cacti and
ordeal
stuff,
is
yeah.
very far from over.
Whereas if it gets hot in like California or Australia, it's gonna burn. Let me in! Just dead on the inside. I mean, Southern California, particularly around LA, for example, is dead looking because it is basically dead. Then again, there is a certain beauty to seeing green shoots come out of a black trunk.
You kids are past the halfway, but I'm more of a realist. The roads are a mess, there's rescue teams to watch out for, and a whole lot of ways things could still go wrong. So keep your heads on.
There's some sort of weird gumball rally thing, I feel like.
It's beautiful, isn't it? How the sand and the sunlight play off one another.
I would actually like to go to a desert. As it's weird, I guess, as an Australian to say this, but I've never actually been to the desert.
They didn't deserve it.
I've only ever really been in the places where you could actually conceivably live in Australia. Not the parts where the white man really doesn't fare well. As a white man myself. Gordon Murray, is that the McLaren guy? Gordon Murray, isn't he also the... Oh, Gordon, isn't he also a tennis
Real
player?
opposite of ideal racing conditions, huh?
Isn't he that English tennis player? Something Murray. Andy Murray? Andy Murray. I think. Yeah, the T50 is a very competent car from what I can tell. It's got that classic 3-seat arrangement that the F1 McLaren had. That's a bit unkind. I don't know if it looks exactly like a slapped ass. But maybe I'm wrong. It has been a while since I've observed a slapped ass.
I used to watch races on
Damn,
TV,
that's
and they were just
not
never
ideal.
enough. So I started running my own. What kind of person drives full throttle into a dust
Nah,
storm
brah.
at nearly 200 miles per hour? The kind I respect.
Okay. Okay. The trouble with the T50 for me is I don't technically think, at least from behind, which is where you sit for the most part in these games, it doesn't really look that nice. And also, I don't really feel like there's much difference in like the cars, to be honest, in this game. There's definitely a difference between like the limousines and this. But in terms of like in between this and the EVR cigars, I don't feel like there's a huge difference in terms of like performance and stuff. In the hypercars there's a bit more of a difference, like the XJ 220 is left behind by the MC20. When it's fully upgraded. But I don't know, it doesn't really...
Down to just one
I feel like in
more
like
lane, and
Forza
it's
Horizon there's a lot more
all
difference
out
between the
sprint
two.
to our finish line at the city of sin. Vegas has always been a place of winners and losers, and it's about to get 7 more.
Well, we gotta find out about the thrilling conclusion. I don't know, it just doesn't... I don't feel like it's warranted or needed as much. Like, I feel like in Horizon I was like really stoked to buy a new car. Because it could be very different.
Here's the deal.
But all of these cars, they all have like
In Las Vegas.
the
Cross
same
finish line, taking the sights. Hell, you can even stay
performance
for a vacation for all I care.
zone.
Just make this
parameters.
last race a good one.
At least it feels like it. Which means like there's not certainly with the sports cars at least. Like I have this. I have an Aston Martin Vanquish, a TVR Cigaris, and something else, which is like a Jaguar E-Type, and a Volkswagen Beetle, and they all have like the same top speed and stuff, and there are obviously slight differences in terms of handling characteristics and stuff. but
See
it's
that
not.
plane over there?
I don't feel like it's enough to meaningfully.
First
Whoa,
one
that
drives
plane
aboard
accelerated
and
really
flies
quickly for
off
some
to
reason.
a sort of victory
It's not enough like
celebration.
meaningfully
My advice to all
be
of you,
different between
do not
like,
board that plane.
the vehicles. I feel. Why is there like a Blues Brothers amount of cars and police cars on the road? Well, the arcadey handling doesn't help either. You can go in and like customize it on a car by car basis, but I just haven't been bothered or had the interest in like getting that in
Keep your
depth.
eyes open. Something's
Howdy, Wolf. How you doing? Are you on nights again? Yeah, you can do per car tuning in this, but I just haven't delved into it as much, to be honest. And I don't feel like there'd be as big a need to. Well, that's nice.
Hey,
Nice
there's
to have
something in the
a
road
day at
ahead.
home,
Careful now.
or a night at home, I should say. How are you doing? Oh, preparing for tomorrow, then I imagine. It flies away too quickly. I think that's decided. I could see Forza, if they ever went back to the States, doing like a truncated version of America,
This is how a race.
centered around Las Vegas or maybe Colorado.
Everywhere.
I feel like there's a lot of biomes and ecosystems around there that you could emulate.
Well, the question now is, which one of you is ready to take off?
Tell you what, if I don't see a police car do this slide turn again, it will be too soon. Seriously, is everyone in the country a member of the constabulary? Was that it? Oh, there was a pedestrian that
which
spawned
of you
there.
is worthy and which of you is dust. Winner, you impressed me out there, and I don't say that easily. You've earned that price card, and
Yeah.
something else too. Seems you're not flying to a victory party. This race was just the beginning, and you are gonna love what comes next.
Is it the Hunger Games? I have to kill someone now? Because I'll do it, Mr. The Voice. So what was the car we unlocked? A 3000 GT VR4 No Rules Edition. No Rules Just Right Edition. Let's remove these rules even more. If you haven't seen the Blues Brothers chat, that is a Blues Brothers level of cops. I think the Blues Brothers, the first one, held the record for the number of cop cars or stunt vehicles destroyed in a film for like 30 years or whatever, however long it was after it was made. What do you mean by gears like that, KB? Just to clarify, to answer the question. Like that can go up to that speed, do you mean, or? Because in theory a gear can go up to any speed at once, as long as the engine can actually provide it with the speed to get there. That's alright. As you were. Can we customize this, or is this like a... Yep, okay, so it's a Forza... We've got a Forza Edition situation here. classic anime one. That one's kind of tight. I guess it's because of the black and red rims. Ooh. Could be Lightning McQueen. Get our Ka-Chow on. It is kind of tempting. I do like a good Ka-Chow. Let's do it. Ladies. Like, even this car can only go 363 Ks, which is obviously very fast, but it's exactly the same speed as almost every other car in my garage goes. Can I see, if I get in the cockpit, can I see out? Oh, I can. That's a little bit of a shame, actually. I was hoping I couldn't. Actually, let's have a check. Is there like there's a library of liveries. Is there a library of vinyls? And if so, is there Fox McCloud, sorry, and Crystal doing a fat bong rip? I have to make it myself. I don't wanna. Local. What does that mean? Does that mean I can import things? Or is that just saved stuff? 2D mode. Oh, that is interesting. That's very interesting, actually. Like, it seems like a robust system, but I just can't be bothered, man. Let's try and take Lightning McQueen for a run. This race. We'll do the harder version. Ooh la la. Listen to that lack of limits, chat. Oh, it's a V6. I figured it was a 4-cylinder something, given it was called a VR4. Excuse me, sir, I'm numing here. Possibly even Ka-Chowing. V6 all-wheel drive. Okay. Take that, society. I feel like it's very turbo based.
3.
It doesn't really move very quickly if it's in like a low RPM range. But as soon as you get up to like 5,000-6,000, you're off to the races. I mean, having said that they don't really feel too different, this does feel a bit different. But I mean, that's principally, I imagine, because it's all-wheel drive. And the trouble is, I can't make any other car be all-wheel drive, so it can't be too different. From like a balance perspective, right? Otherwise everyone would be driving the Ka-Chow, which is what I have christened this car just now. I think I can take a shortcut through the Eiffel Tower and possibly the Arc de Triomphe. Yes, very rad. Ka-Chow. always gotta keep your head on a swivel in a joust rig. Things can turn on a dime at a moment's notice. Whether that's the stream crashing or me getting into a rat car. Most Wanted, the 2005 one, or there was a more recent one, wasn't there? I feel like there was. Oh, we can go through here. I didn't even add them in. Does that bring calipers? No, it doesn't. Oh, that's why. I thought you were saying I had added them in. No. Well, I couldn't change the color of the car. I couldn't do any painting or something, so I'm stuck with the red ones. I don't think you can buy it anymore, but if you go to... if you want it on PC at least, if you go to a little old website called myabandonware.com, pretty sure it's got it there. Coffee time! That's 2 coffee orders. Anyone else want a coffee from an Adequate's personal, what's the term? Stash? No, like... cellar? I don't remember now. If I were ever to drink coffee, I definitely would be partaking in the syrups. I don't know if it would be hazelnut or if it would be like vanilla. Or maybe even just straight up chocolate. I don't know. I feel like Las Vegas is another city that probably shouldn't exist. What is amaretto? I recognize ginger nut and pumpkin spice. Pumpkin spice is just kind of cinnamon, right? I'm not really a hot drink person, that's the thing. Like even a hot chocolate KB would be my preferred option out of hot drinks. But I would like to have it like at a warm temperature rather than a hot temperature.
Welcome to the Silver
baby
State for a race through the very heart of the City of Sin. Our drivers are going to be burning a lot of rubber under the hot lights of those casinos tonight. It's summer.
Interesting.
It's Vegas. Let's roll.
An Irish coffee would be an interesting one to taste as well. If I was still gluten tolerant, I saw ages back in like a travel magazine Irish porridge, which is just porridge with some whiskey on it, which sounds like it could be interesting. I feel like that's a lot of the syrups though, wouldn't it be? Like they're all very sweet, right? They're kind of like a cordial. Like you don't want to drink or consume them straight.
Alert, ads are starting.
Ramsey.
Here we go. Racing south along the strip and headed into our first sharp turn along Borneo Cove.
Borneo, isn't it Borneo? American pronunciation, I suspect. Hairpin, right. I remember I once tried, the only time I've gotten close to having a syrup in anything, really. Because, as I've said, I don't really drink coffee, so I don't really have an opportunity to have them in the coffee. Oh, okay. That was quite the start. I once asked for, like, added a malt shot or whatever in my vanilla milkshake. Didn't like it, wasn't a great addition. Regretted it almost immediately. Perusha syrup? I've never even heard of that. Perusha? Honestly, just vanilla is great for your milkshake. Vanilla milkshake haters, do not stand by them. Well, I guess black coffee is easy to make. You don't have to faff around with foaming it up or adding things into it. You just wait for the, I don't know, however you make the coffee otherwise. Be it pour over or drip or instant or whatever. Well, it's got cats in it, so that probably helped. I'm fully convinced that the fact that we have a pretty healthy increase in population here is because we've got inadequate in the chat semi-regularly. They're just like, oh, there's a cat in here. Can't wait to say hi.
Coming into a very technical section here. Hope the
Very
drivers are
technical
keeping the
section.
foot over those brakes.
Really hit the T in technical on that one, Mr. Commentator, sir. I think the last time I had a hot drink from a cafe, like a hot chocolate or anything even, I can't honestly think of it. Oh, I have had a hot chocolate, maybe not this past winter, but the winter before. I had some, like, sachet things which would just convert milk into, you know, hot chocolate. I had some of those maybe last winter or the winter before. Ham omelette sounds super choice. I just can't be bothered in the morning. I don't know how you guys do it, who do that kind of stuff. I'm barely bothered to get out of bed in the morning, let alone do a fry up or whatever. No, fair enough. And look, if you don't normally do it, you might as well make it special, right? Really? Instant ramen? I mean, I suppose it's not really too different from like cereal, you know, it's a lot of carbohydrates, I imagine. And particularly in the winter months, having a warm noodle meal wouldn't be too bad. I do wonder, it's probably not
That's
uncommon in like
Manhattan on the
Asian
left
countries
there,
though, right?
Famous for its reproduction of the Statue of Liberty, but also home to one of the city's fastest roller coasters.
What do you mean one of the cities? Isn't there only one? Cooking a pan of chips? Interesting. a chip man. I am unfamiliar with this concept. I've only ever had them in the oven. If they're like done at home. Gonna have to check that out. We're only 2/3 of the way through, unfortunately. 10 laps of this bad boy. Oop, there goes the priceless car. This car doesn't seem to have a damage model in the way that the other cars do. I've definitely hit this car in the face a few times. There we got a scratch on it. Put your oil in, heat it up, chip up your spuds, cook them homemade. Interesting. So it's like a deep frying pan, basically. Chips, specifically. Yeah, I've never heard of that kind of thing. Now, it could just be that my family never used one, but never heard of it before.
And now a right turn back onto the strip.
Like if we
Time to
ever,
go full
normally
throttle and
the
make
chips
some noise for everyone
we would
watching
have
from
were
their hotel windows.
come from the freezer aisle of the supermarket, you know, pre-done basically, and you just heat them up in the oven. Or the, excuse me, or the air fryer these days. But even if we cut our own, it would be done with, in the oven, on a pan. Interesting. Does it have a lid to put on it? Actually, if you're kind of frying it in oil. Ah, interesting. Well, I guess that's how you roast it. Get that heat all around it. What do I think of this car? I quite like it. I don't think it necessarily handles too differently to... Man, I appreciate that you like the T50, but I've mentioned that I think it's a neat enough car, but I'm probably not going to pick it up just yet. You're welcome to engage in other discussion topics. I feel like I've mentioned that I think the T50's neat, but the back's a little bit ugly. It's cool that it's got 3 seats. Goes pretty quickly. But I'm like not desperate to pick it up.
King Arthur on the right there. I hear they've got one heck of a medieval jousting show. And
yeah, that's a good point.
Another
or
great
T50,
USST race through yet
a
another stunning American city.
T.502.
We're going to head north next, as the circuit takes us to one of the far corners of the continental U.S., Seattle.
Also, the continental United States, is that just the main body of the United States? And then you've got Alaska, which isn't continental. I thought Alaska was still continental United States, but it wasn't contiguous United States. Okay, interesting. That's where they should set the crew game. Because I imagine they still want to keep it in America. But this time we're just going to set it in Alaska. We did Hawaii, that was cool. Now we're doing Alaska, and only Alaska. I hope you like ice. I'm just going to travel to it. Oh, that's right. I remember you saying that. Do you know how they got it to you? Like, obviously there was a boat involved, but did it go on a train to get to the other side? I don't know if you could do a one-to-one, because I feel like Alaska's pretty big.
3,
But then again, you wouldn't have to use much in the way of, like,
1.
Geometry memory or anything. You could just have a lot of, like, white open plains. So it could be, like, literally 10,000 square kilometers, and it's just a lot of white stuff. Chad, be careful. Cargo train, okay, yeah. I wasn't sure if they slapped them on a cargo boat at Anchorage or whatever, and then went through the Panama Canal or some such. Ow. It's fine, I meant to do that. Did you rent the flatbed, or did you like get it from work or something? Did you even drive it, or did you kind of hire a service to do that? Ah, I see. Might as well. I did see a quite a few in my search for the replacement Jao-Mobile. There were quite a few Japanese import cars around the carsales.com.au. Primarily, you'd know them primarily because they were just not a car that we got in Australia. And then if you look at the images, at least some of the buttons or the menus would be in Japanese. I feel like that's definitely increased recently. I feel like I've been seeing a lot more Japanese import cars on the road. I wonder if it's in part because they don't really sell... Like, there's a lot less small cars available to buy, a lot less hatchbacks and stuff like that. So I wonder if there's an element of that in terms of people are now looking overseas for that, or if the laws have changed maybe in terms of like importing. I don't know. Damn, I wish. There's plenty of like Honda Civic size hot hatches available on the market, like the Golf GTI, the Civic, I think the Focus is still for sale, but it might just be the ST model, like none of the other lower models. So I'm not certain on that. It might just not exist in Australia anymore. Yeah, the S3, the A class from Mercedes, and the 1 Series from BMW. I think that's all of them that I can think of. Oh, and the I-30N. But there's an I-20N, and there's really no competitor to that. We don't even get the regular I-20 here, we just get the N. I mean, the A-Class seems like a fine enough car. Maybe we should do the Rallycross. That's fine. And I guess Kia does do a slightly... Yeah, the S one's... I mean, the A1? Yeah, that's the name. It's a pretty cool car in general, I think. Kind of super compact. There's not really a competitor for it from any of the other German brands, now that I think about it either. There's no... Like, the 1 Series is a 3 Series. Sorry, the 1 Series is an A3 size, or A-Class size thing. But the A1 is underneath both of those. So it's kind of unique. Yeah. Which was all aluminium and therefore supposedly incredibly expensive at the time to make.
Make some spectacular moves.
Woo, spectacular!
Some jump.
I'm disappointed at the cowards that Audi haven't released a RS1 yet. In the same vein as the, what was it, the W12 GTI. Ow.
A true trickster. Oh, my shocks.
Yeah, I forgot about the Megane, which we only get as the RS. I don't even know if we get the Clio anymore.
Tight, but safe. Oh, my new paint.
I am not doing super well at hitting these things somehow.
Don't faint. Oh, my clutch.
That's the one after the Vod-mander, right?
Oh, my shocks.
Yeah. I mean, it's a fun choice. fine choice. I will not show the details, actually. Keep them hidden for me. I wish to remain oblivious. Of course, yeah.
Wade's got it wrong. To understand what we're about,
But I think
you have to understand
the
there's nothing
Magan
like
has a more
what we
attractive
do.
cut of the jib to it.
Mix the thrill of the ride with the thrill of getting way out there in the backcountry, and you've got something special. You need to feel it to get it.
I'll get out in your backcountry if you're not careful. Did I want to say that? I think so. We still got the Peugeot 308 GTI as well. Oh, we don't have the 208. We're definitely becoming a land of SUV drivers, and I guess I'm kind of one of them now with the Skoda Kamiq as well. Even if it is more small stack. I saw a 208, yeah, today. They're nice cars. I don't know how comfortable they'd be for me. I don't know if there's a huge amount of room behind the chair if I'd be in the front seat. Oh, we were actually taking the corner. Yeah. The thing is, I'm like 6'4" isn't short by any stretch. I'm not gonna say that, but I wouldn't think 6'4" is like outlandishly tall. But it can be quite difficult to certain things to make certain things fit, like yourself in a Citroen C1, for example. I guess I'd be interested to see the bell curve of height or whatever. And I guess maybe it just drops off very quickly after like 5, I don't know, 10, 11? I mean, the other thing that would be very interesting would be, well, if you can't fit in the front seat and drive it, can you sit in the back seat and drive it? If Jeremy Clarkson reviewed it and sat in the driver's seat with relative comfort, that's at least a good start. I don't think he's 6'4". I think he's only like 6'2" or something. Only 6'2". But I might be wrong. It's been a while since I've cared about Jeremy Clark.
Golden Hills to Los Angeles, Nevada to California. It's stage number 6, U.S. Speed Tour West.
Like, the Skoda Kamiq is not quite right. Like, I've slid the seat as far back as possible, and I've done the adjustment thing where you kind of pump the lever on the side of your chair to take it a bit lower / further away as well. But without those, without the chair lever pumping, a bit touch and go for a while. Yeah, I probably wouldn't fit in an Austin Healey Sprite. When I was in New Zealand for university, this all reminded me. This was like the first time I was actually using Uber. It does, which is really nice. I'm just scratching my nose in both reach, like how far the steering wheel is from the dashboard, and also in tilt, and that's a big plus. I haven't had a car with a reach before, and that is a big plus, having that. But this guy, so I was in New Zealand, in Christchurch specifically, doing uni stuff. This was the first time I was using Uber, and I caught an Uber to a workshop kind of thing we were doing, and I got picked up in an S-Class. Supposedly this guy was saying that he was doing it in an S-Class because that was the only car that would like fit him in, but I don't know about that. I feel like he was just trying to justify the purchase to himself. I feel like there's many cars that cost like a lot less than an S-Class. You can fit a very tall person in it. I mean, it is pretty chill. And I didn't even pay extra for it. Like, it was just a regular Uber. I definitely prefer to try and take a taxi now, but back then I didn't care. Or know to care, at least. And also, it was just so much more convenient back then. Now the taxis have their own apps and stuff like that, but back then, not so much. There was a few oohs and ahs when I got out of the car, actually, because even the ladies I was with who didn't know very much about cars knew that this was something to be something of note. Look at Mr. Fancy Floof. That was a great university trip. That was my final university subject. That was a good way to go out. Ow. Go with a bang, absolutely. It was very cool because it was the first time that I actually designed something and then saw it put up. Even if it was only like a little temporary pavilion thing. Still very cool. And then being able to stand in your own thing, also very cool. Also, I was able to ride everywhere on a motorcycle. Not a motorcycle. What am I saying? A motorcycle? On a push bike. Wow, I really am tired. And that was really quite a civilized way to get around.
Last checkpoint before Los Angeles. The competitors are about to discover the Pacific Ocean.
Woo! We've discovered the Pacific Ocean, chat. OMG. The big wet. Did we not collect them? Did we jump over them? That's embarrassing. Loot. Okay, I think I am for real gonna leave it here. It was a regular one. What happened was, I was in a group with four ladies, and we decided we were all going to book bikes, push bikes, and then when we went to pick them up, the guy like saw, I think was it a guy or a lady behind the counter, saw me and was like, okay, so we're gonna need a bigger one for this guy. But yeah, it was just a regular push bike. I can't remember if it had a basket on it or not. But it was just nice to be able to ride around. Easy. Nice bit of exercise. Easy to park as well. Didn't have to worry about that. Alright, we are going to do something. It's very exciting, I know. Possibly... We're gonna raid Kesa, friend of the channel. Make sure you use those emotes that KB has gifted just a whole bunch of people. Again, huge ups to KB. Speaking of which, I don't know how to spell his name. When did he last speak in the chat? KB Lee Bob. Drop him a follow if you haven't already. As a thanks, if nothing else. I will be back in approximately, what, 21 hours time? I don't know if we'll be back at the bed and breakfast or if we'll be doing something else, but tune in to find out. Or, if I can be bothered and get around to it, check out the Blue Sky to find out some updates. And check out the Discord and the Clip Manager YouTube channel, of course. And come and say howdy in the Discord. Yeah, until I see you again, have a good weekend or a good end to your week. And yeah, take care of yourselves. Let's go say hi to Kesa Wolf. And I will see you in 21 hours. Good night, and God bless.
I see. Oh my god, Commander, how's it going? Welcome in, buddy. Welcome in. How you doing? Thank you so much for the raid. You guys go check out Commander Jao. You're playing the crew. Nice. How was your stream? I hope you get a